Hello, this is the Crocheter. I'm here today to tell you about all the Infinity Gauntlets I've made. Starting with this one. This is the first Infinity Gauntlet I ever made. All I knew how to do was loom knitting and a slip stitch, and I turned it into this glove. I made this back in 2018, right around when Infinity War came out. As you can see, there are beads along each stone. Those beads actually glow in the dark. This is my first time working with them. As you can see, I didn't know that this plate was supposed to wrap all the way around, so it's just kind of a plate that attaches onto the back of the hand. So yeah, it was impressive for when I made it, because all I knew was a slip stitch and loom knitting, so the cuff is loom knitted and the rest is all slip stitches. When you think of that, it's a little impressive, I guess, but it's not anything near what I can do now. Fast forward to 2019 when Avengers Endgame was coming out, we have this one. By this point I had learned to do a double crochet, and so I did the entire thing in double crochets. Once again, we have glow-in-the-dark beads on each stone. This was the last one I made with these glow-in-the-dark beads. As you can see, I went for more of a bronze color to match what it looked like in the movie, because I felt like it was closer to a bronze than a gold, so I went with that. Later on in 2019, a classmate of mine commissioned me to make an Infinity Gauntlet for his son, and so I made this one. It's a lot more golden, it's a lot more toned down in terms of the design. No glow-in-the-dark beads because I didn't have that many of them anymore. I made this over the course of one night. I kind of pulled an all-nighter to make this one. And this gauntlet has an interesting story to it. What the? Sorry about that, my camera turned off for a second there. This has an interesting story to it, but I'll get into that another time. But long story short, this gauntlet is basically cursed, and I will have another video talking about that. My next attempt at an Infinity Gauntlet was based on the one from Avengers Endgame instead of Infinity War with this one. You can't see it on camera, but the reality stone is a slightly different red than the rest of the glove, but it's really hard to see. It's already hard to see with the naked eye. It's even harder to see on camera. I've got the time stone there, which that and the mind stone are much bigger than the other stones, because that's just kind of how they came out. But yeah, this is the Nano Gauntlet from Avengers Endgame. It's fingerless because every time I make fingers, they always come out different, and I just gave up on this point. Next up, and I made this year in 2021 because I came up with a new pattern for gloves. We have another Endgame one. This time also fingerless because I figured out a new pattern, this time with a ribbed cuff. However, the stones are very hidden and they don't really line up with my knuckles at all, so I wasn't very happy with this design. So I figured, how can I fix that? Well, the stones were giving me the most trouble to crochet, so I looked for alternatives. For a while I thought, what about beads? I thought, what about buttons? And eventually I found some sew-on rhinestones online, and I now have this. With rhinestones for the Infinity Stones, it looks much better, in my opinion, than the other ones. As you can see, I still kept some detail in there. Once again, ribbed cuff, once again, fingerless. But this is pretty much the most advanced Infinity Gauntlet I've made. Following that, we have this gauntlet from Avengers Endgame. Same thing with the rhinestones, this time in red and silver. Now, the plan is that you can actually buy these from me. You can order these from me as a commission. Just let me know the circumference of your wrist over on DeviantArt. I will put the link to my DeviantArt page in the description down below, and also in a pinned comment. But these come in a pair. I am willing to negotiate price, but something you have to keep in mind is that the rhinestones cost me $48 for the whole for all the packs. The yarn cost me about $6 per color, so it's already 48 plus 18, so that's already 66 plus 15 for shipping and for processing your fees and shipping. So it's already $81. And then there's the labor. These took 2 days to make. So I'm trying to charge like 90 or 100, because with 100 I'm only charging $9.50 per day that it takes to make these. I only ship within the US because I can't afford to ship outside the US without making the shipping cost extremely, just way too much. But yeah, you can order these from me for 90 to 100 bucks. I am willing to negotiate, but I can't go any lower than 90. And yes, this video was basically just an excuse for me to show off my Infinity Gauntlets and plug the fact that you can commission me. So yeah, if you want to order these, that's cool. Link in the description. If you don't, that's also fine. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.